Hi everyone, and welcome to Fishing Minty. It's third week in October now, so I'm here for some autumn lure fishing for perch. It's the first time I've lure fished ever, really. I remember back in the 80s when I was a child, I had about probably less than an hour on Polesworth rocks trying to catch some sea fish with my dad. I didn't do any fishing myself, and I think we all caught was a feather, and I was freezing cold and soaking wet, and I went home not very impressed, and that's pretty much about it on a little green rod. So yeah, I'm here today with my Nash 6-foot dwarf rod and some spinners, hoping to catch some perch. I'm basically going to do a tour of the whole lake, moving from peg to peg, and see if we can tempt any fish out. I'm sure there'll be plenty of perch chasing the spinners back towards me, but hopefully we can hook some. So yeah, very minimal tackle today. This is actually my camera gear in here, so obviously if I wasn't recording I wouldn't need any of that stuff, so it doesn't really count. Obviously I'm still carrying it though, and again a tripod that I can mount my phone to if I do have any nice decent perch catches. This is the Nash Dwarf utility bag, I think, which fits the 6-foot rod. Unfortunately the Nash have dropped this dwarf range now. I think it was just too competitive with their own higher priced scope brand, and there are scope 6-foot rods, but they don't do them to this same test curve that I've got. So I've used it plenty of times for my carp fishing. I'm sure I've talked about it before, but this is the Nash Dwarf 6-foot rod with a 1 pound test curve, so it's something they don't do anymore, which is a shame, because I use this as a bit of a utility rod really. It's great for carp fishing and all kinds of just general coarse fishing really, and this is the first time I've ever done lure fishing, inspired by Snagbro I should say the channel is. So anyway, so in this bag we've got the part telescopic 2-part rod. Got the Nash Scope 4000 reel on there. It's just loaded with 15 pound mono. As I say, I use it for my carp fishing, and on the Tamar lakes it's a minimum 15 pound break and strain line in the rules. Well, when you're carp fishing it is, but I use it for that as well. So yeah, so in this bag we've got obviously my rod pre-set up. We've got the Nash Dwarf landing net handle, which is designed to fit in this bag. Screws together like a pool cue, and it's telescopic as well. This actually came with a 42-inch net, but I managed to break the arms because there were each arm was 2-piece. But what I do use instead is a Dinsmore triangular collapsible net. I've got 2 of these, but I think this is the 18-inch one. So it's ideal for, again, general coarse fishing. I can put that flexible bag back in that pouch there. That's my way sling, which I'll be using if we do get anything sizable. There are perch, I think up to 4 pound in here. I don't think I'm going to see anything anywhere near that today. Yeah, that's the triangular net. Perfect, it just collapses into the cylindrical shape that fits in this bag, and just the usual standard thread. So that's my net ready. And in the other pouches in here, what I've got in there, that's just some of my feeder, plummets and floats, so we don't need that today. So when I use it for method feeder stuff and bomb fishing. And in here, this little case, I've just got 3 Abu 4.5 gram spinners, hundreds and hundreds of geese coming in to land. I don't know if you can hear me over them. So I've actually still got this rod set up with it as a helicopter style, but I've got a swivel on the end. All the hooks are tangled. There we are, that's it done. Yeah, so I've actually got, I don't know if you can see that, but I've actually got my helicopter set up there. But I can move that further up the line, and then normally I'd put my lead on this swivel, but I'll just put the lure straight on it instead. So the reason I wanted to come here and do this was that last session I came out here and I was method feeder fishing. The perch were chasing my pink wafters in, and I was fishing the scoop feeder, trying to catch the skimmers. So the perch were just chasing my pink wafters, and I was catching perch on the hook, as using the wafters as spinners pretty much accidentally. So I thought I'd just specifically come minimal and just try that. Yeah, I got my towel in that first lower pocket there at the front, and in here we just got some general tools, luggage scales, pair of scissors and a couple of disgorgers, and this utility rod bag actually wraps around, doubles up as a waist belt. I think this is one of the most versatile pieces of kit, this bag. So let's go on with the fishing. Yeah, so as I said in the intro, this is my first time doing any kind of lure fishing, so my technique's probably going to be all wrong. So feel free to comment if anyone is actually watching this video. We'll see. Got nothing on the first cast. The wind is just blowing it immediately left. The other thing I don't know anything about either is what sort of heavy weight lures I should use. Oh, I've got some resistance then. I think that was just the water. Oh, these are 4.5 gram. And obviously this rod's 6 foot as well, so whether I should be using a longer rod, heavier lures, lighter lures. Oops, that's interesting. Just jump straight at the board then. Ooh, it's right around my rod tip. I mean, I fail at fishing when I'm using techniques that I've got experience in, let alone no experience at all. Yeah, I'm just trying to do various different techniques of jerking and reeling in slowly and quickly, and letting it sink, not letting it sink. It's nice clear blue skies. There was some rain, a lot of rain over the last couple of days, but it's supposed to be dry for the rest of today, I think, and it's about 9 degrees, so already my fingers have gone white. I've lost the feeling in them. Hopefully, as we move up this bank, it'll be a bit better. We haven't got the wind in our face now. Is that a snag? Is that a fish or a snag? No signs of anything on the spinner. I think it was a snag. Probably a bit of the weed on. Snag. Is it? Yeah, snag. Grassies or reeds, whatever you want to call them. Oh, in fact, so that is. That's somebody's hook length. Look, a little bait spike on there. Don't know whether it's focusing on that hook, so I'll put that in my pocket to throw away. Someone's obviously got broken off by something. I should put that in that pocket there with the car key. And what I don't know how much makes a difference is that when you feed a fish in, you're obviously throwing a lot of maggots in up close, and you know you've got bits falling off your feeder throughout your session, and it might be that brings the perch and the roach up close around your feet. Now obviously I'm just lure fishing today, so there's not any other loose feed or baits that I'm throwing in to attract the fish around close to me. So it's interesting to see what impact that has. You know, if there's not a competitive shoal, trying to get to the occasional maggot that you're throwing in, or worm that you're throwing in after taking it off the hook from your last cast, there might be not anything of interest to them to attract them in. So the only fish I'm going to get chasing the lure are those that are naturally in the area. And it's very much a sight-based attraction. There's no scent. I don't know whether people do that and just put a bit of worm on as well as on one of the hooks of the lure. I don't know. I don't think I've seen people do that before, but it might be an idea to try. Snagged up again. I'm just trying to strike the balance between letting the lure sink low but without it getting snags on the rocks on the bottom. Is this a snag? Yeah. That's a strange one because it felt like it was a snag, and then as I pulled through the snag it still felt like there's some kind of resistance. No, another snake. Is that snag? Yep. I think what I'm expecting is when I actually do get a take at the rods, rather than just getting a solid just bend on the rod, I think it's it's going to twitch. That's what my expectation is. Yeah, just a couple of short wraps. Yeah, it's definitely raining now. Time to get the hood up. Just the gorse bush to the right of me here, so I'm just going to cast along just the edge of this bank. There's another tree in front of it, just in the water. It seems an ideal place to lurk. If it was a perch, hopefully we can cast near to it without landing in the tree. I think I'm caught on one of the reeds there. A bit too close in. Yeah, got some grass on there. Oh, I'm tangled up on the reeds. The line looped over it. I don't think I can get access to that. That didn't sound good. No, the line is snapped. Yeah, so that's one lure gone. I did say that I would I'll make my way around the whole lake, but that's reliant on the fact I don't lose all my lures before then. So obviously if I do lose more, I'm not going to be making it to the end. So let's cut the line of that knot, put on a new lure. So it's raining, I can't feel my fingers, the geese are laughing at me, I've lost the lure, glasses are steaming up, because I shouldn't even be wearing my glasses for close-up detail work. Oh, there's the geese again. Don't know where they're going to. Let's see if I can tie this knot without getting my hook caught in my finger. It's just a half blood knot. Just trim tag end off and put that in my pocket. try and cast more direct. There's less line. Okay, so I've lost the second lure because the knot has obviously come undone. There goes the second one, because my knots are rubbish. I think I'm going to do a Palomar knot on the next one, which is what I usually do for my bombs. Ah dear. It's not going too well, is it? So somehow, with fingers that I can't feel, I've managed to do a Palomar knot. So this last third spinner of the day, to the coppery, chromy, gold colour. I've not even got as far as the arm yet on Tamar, and I'm on my last spinner, so hopefully we see a fish today. You can feel the spinner rotating in the water, so I bet with braid it's even a better feeling, especially when you get a take. I know it's like in feeder fishing, but I think lure fishing with braid, I can imagine, be quite tactile, if that's the right word. Not that I've seen sight of any fish today. Just feeling the spinner going through the water. It's quite good. Snug. Oh, you got a fish? No. It's a leaf from an oak tree. Oh dear. That was the first glimmer of excitement then. The first time I genuinely thought I got a fish on. Oh, is that going to a tree? Oh, that's not good. Let's see how far I can get on this bank. Where's my line? I can't work out where the water starts. see my spinner in the tree. Whether I can get to it is another matter. I can see the water right down here as well. This is where you need your waders. I've got it. That's the biggest success of the day so far. Hey, it's still attached. You can see there's it looks like a swamp, doesn't it? Reminds me of where the voodoo lady in Monkey Island lived. If you're into your video games and your graphic adventures from the 90s. That's a nice view there. Sun shining, glimmering across the surface. We're getting towards the point on this northeastern, I think it is. Yeah, northeastern point of the lake. And just as we head around this bend ahead, that's when we start getting to some fishing pegs again. Now, this is giving me a good chance to try lots of different pegs. I think maybe I need to do this mobile kind of fishing with maybe just a tub of worms, or my waggler actually. I've not been waggler fishing here yet. I think I should try that soon. Yeah, I'll give this peg a bit of a go. Hopefully we don't land in these trees. Oh, that's gone over the tree. Oh. That's not looking good, is it? Can I flick that line off? I don't think I can. Let's move to the next branch along. If it's any better. I don't think it is. Maybe trod on my landing net there. Just turn my back to it. Now, I think the line is broke. Yep, there we are. So, I came out with 3 spinners. I've lost one in this tree. I've lost one in the reeds. I think it was in front of the lodge over there, unless it was the next peg along. And I lost one in the reeds in the peg to the left of that. So my first lure fishing session in 40 years has not gone well. I was just thinking as well about how I could have started the other way around and worked round clockwise and started on the jetty, because I think now we're in October, I think you can start fishing in front of the boathouse. I know you can't during the summer because of the boat activity, but I think you can from October. So that might be a better place to start. But as it is, I've lost my last of my spinners. I've not brought any other bait. I've got that one hook that I caught in my first session, but I've got no bait, and there's a rule here, you can't dig for bait, so I can't dig for any worms, and unless I manage to find any worms just randomly crawling across the grass, that's not going to be possible. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk around the rest of the lake. Maybe someone fishing the feeder festival this week has just left their old bait on the bank rather than putting it in the water. But even then, I bet ducks have eaten it all by now anyway. So that's not going to be very likely, unfortunately. So I think the rule is obviously to learn to cast better, and to bring a larger collection of lures. I thought lure fishing would end up being quite cheap, because that set of 3 lures was £13. If they last you a decent amount of time, there's no other overheads, no costs. The hook's on them. It's a hook and a bait in one. That's all the terminal tackle you need. You've got your rod and your reel and your line, and then you just need your lures. But that's 3 gone now for a walk around half a lake. Yeah, never mind. Let's have a little walk around and see if we stumble across any bait or any more lures that somebody else has lost. I've just remembered in one of the pegs somebody had left a pouch from willy worms of dead reds. Throwing litter away, which obviously is not good. But I do wonder, maybe there'll be the odd dead red maggot just lurking at the bottom of that pouch. Yeah, I'm going to walk way back. I'm not going to go round on the Cornwall bank. I'm going to make my way back round, see whether there's anything in there. At least I could pick that litter up now. I should have done the first time round really, but you could probably spend all day just litter picking. So let's make our way back down this Devon bank. even just bringing a packet of hooks. That's all I need to bring, really, a packet of hooks and a tub of wafters as well as my lures. It would have given me a whole another opportunity. But I wanted to dedicate this session just to lure fishing, which is great if you've got enough lures. Ooh, there's a fish there. Typical. I don't know what it was, but I disturbed it as I walked back. Hopefully, if the camera picks it up. Ah, here it is. There are some dead reds in there. Yeah, I don't know who was on this peg, but there's a fishing towel there, dynamite bait's towel. I got. Here we are. Pouch Willie Worm's point of dead red's bag. This one's abandoned, but there's definitely some dead reds left in there. I don't know how many. Let's try and pull the water out so I can see. Oh, I think we might have a handful. Yeah, there might be about 20 maggots in there. And have we still got that hook that I caught? Should be in this pocket. Ah, don't say we haven't. I'm in a real bazaar today, so as I said, I've lost all my lures, and I'd caught a hook earlier on, and I put it in my pocket to take home just to make it safe, and I thought, well, I'll try and go back to the peg there where I've spotted a pouch of dead red maggots earlier on, and I've come back to this peg, and there are about 20 dead red maggots in this pouch left, and I went to get the hook out of my pocket, couldn't find it, and then also in the water is this someone's old towel, dynamite baits, completely ripped to pieces there, but attached to it I spotted a feeder stem floating in the water, elasticated feeder stem, which has got a hook on it. It's stuck in the towel, but if I can cut it free from this towel, I've caught a hook, and I've caught a feeder stem, and I found some maggots. So we might be able to catch some fish. It's the most bizarre session I've had so far. If this does result in a fish, but it's going to beat a walking video. It might be the fish, my fish of the season. And I've just disturbed a fish in the next peg. I don't know whether this feeder stem is going to suit the method feeders that I've got in this bag. Yeah, I've got a little mini Preston. Is that going to fit? It's a bit loose, but I'll just tie a loop in the end of my main line, loop that over that elastic end. I've got nothing to put in the feeder obviously, but we've got some dead reds, and I can take this rag to the rubbish bin and it might all just be fate. So it's nice and easy with a 6-foot rod threading line through. Just tie a loop in the end of my main line. Well, the bone's back. I've got my hood for that. So let's loop that over the end of that. I think that's a guru on that stem. So the feeder's loose on the end of it, but that's fine. So we set back up again with our discovered feeder stem with a hook attached and the pack of dead reds. So normally I wouldn't be happy about an angler abandoning that in a peg, which led me to carry on fishing and hopefully to a fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to this peg that I saw a fish swirling close in down here just a few, maybe 10-15 minutes ago, and I can get down to a lower level there, so I can just perch myself on this bank and see whether we can get a take on this handful of dead reds, which are down to put down in case the wind blows it my way. I've got no loose feed or ground bait or anything like that, but obviously you don't when you lure fishing anyway, so I'll get my towel out. With this pouch I can put the maggots in there. Just take the stuff out the landing net. That's all down on the bank. I've got my landing net ready. There is actually a bait pin on this hook as well. But I've not got any wafters. Some of these dead reds are actually black and bruised, so I'm not sure how useful they're going to be. That one's got some colour in it. I'll just cut off that tail. take off that loop nut. What we can do. Put our net on there, we can put our rod on these reeds and I can sit on the thing behind. Hopefully we'll get a nice solid take on that, enough to twitch the rod to indicate it. It's inline feeder with a look about 4 inch that hook length, so the bite should be substantial enough to detect. I've used these rods lots of times for method feeder fishing. So usually, well, it's a £1 test curve without quiver tipping. It's usually there we go. There's a take. Is it on? It feels it. There we are. Never give up. It's a roach of a couple of ounce. Taking that double dead red. It's a fish I didn't think I was catching today. Let's slide him back. And I'll leave them 2 maggots on the hook. See how much fishing we can do with a... Oh, I tell you what. Ah, yes. I've lost the lead. Because it was loose on that stem. Oh. Typical. I found a stem and a hook, but lost my lead. Obviously it's on the slack. It slid down the line and just dropped off. Has it just done that while I was putting that fish away? Yeah, typical, isn't it? I've got others to swap over to, but I think I need to move away from this stem. If I can get away with it, I'd have to do loop to loop. I've got no shots. Let's have a little think and see what I can do with the tackle I've got. So I've worked out how to do it then. So I've got this Preston 20-gram cage feeder with the stem and the tail rubber in my bag now, which is fine, but I've not got any shot or the feeder connectors that I usually use, method connectors, to connect the hook length to. So without some kind of shot or connector there, it would just slide straight off the end of the hook line. So what I've done is I've just put it on top of the Guru elasticated stem that I've just found, which has obviously then got my feeder in, so it's not the best of setup by any means, but it means now that this one, I'm not going to lose this because this is nice and tight on this stem, which it wasn't on the Guru stem. If anything, it might just lift the bait off the bottom a little bit, make it more waft in the wind. The water. I don't catch birds, do I? Okay, so we've got a little 2-ounce roach. So we're catching and we're fishing to a degree more than I could have imagined after I lost that last spinner. So cast it back out. we've got a fish on. Oh, there you go. I thought that had an indication. Another roach about the same size as earlier, about 2 ounce. And interestingly enough, the reason I reeled that in then, oh right in the middle of the bottom lip, look at that. 10 out of 10. The reason that I was reeled in then is because I realised that, off he goes, with this rig ring that's at the bottom, bottom of the guru stem, obviously I can just use that directly on my main line, and that will act in the same way as stopping the Preston stem. But I've also realised I've got a 14 gram plummet, so if that rig ring won't go through that hole, which it won't, I can just have a free running bomb setup. If I just tie that rig ring directly to my main line, thread it on the plummet, because obviously the feed is empty anyway, because I've got no loose feed. So let's go for another change of tactic. So from the feeder stem that I found, I'm actually only using, well obviously the hook's the main thing, I'm only using the rig ring from it now. Well, I've decided to call it a day there. It's started out as a lure fishing video, and it gradually turned into a walking video, and it ended up being a bomb fishing video with Scavenged Tackle in the end. 2 turnt roach to show for it, which is well, I didn't expect to catch any roach, to be honest. Obviously starting out lure fishing, it was perch with the target, but you know, I'm glad to have managed to get some kind of fishing out of the session after losing those spinners and finding an abandoned towel with a hook in, and an abandoned pack of dead red maggots, which I've just about managed to scavenge enough bait out to catch a couple of fish. And I've also reeled in with a couple of lost maggots as well, so potentially I could have caught 4 fish. I don't know whether I've got a take now. The line seems to have tightened up, so we'll have a quick look to see whether we do. But if not, it's going to be the end of the session. Hopefully we're going to get 1 or 2 sessions in before my pass expires on the 18th of November. But thanks again for watching. I'll see you again soon.